A photographic exploration around Mewslade Bay and Rhossili. Hope you enjoy it. It's a lovely day, so I'm making a change and visiting Gower today. So I've parked at Pit and Cross and I'm going to head down to Mewslade Bay. Beautiful kale and broccoli. Fantastic. So this is the walk down to Mewslade, a beautiful walk. Haven't been down here for a year at least, so it's lovely for me to make a change. You can park at Rhossili and walk across the fields down to Pitton and then down, but it's quite nice to park here because it's a lot less busy than Rhossili. Oh, there were some lovely fungi on that tree, but they're all past the best now. But those were dryad saddle, otherwise known as druid saddle. Very big fungi that grow on all sorts of trees. Very good on ash and sycamore normally. You can see the limestone rock outcropping. We'll see a lot more of that as we go down. You can tell we're getting closer to the coast because the trees are getting a lot shorter and they've got that sort of windswept look to them. All starting to lean backwards. It's like many coastal valleys, the wind will just come ripping up this valley. There's a lovely dry stone wall to our left, and then we follow it all the way down. Very well made. Nice hawthorns full of berries. You start to see the sea now. The mouth of the valley. It's a beautiful beach, this one. It's lots of black currants, blackberries this year. A good crop. I haven't stopped to pick any, but I should do really, because there's lots and lots of them. That's interesting. That big bush up there, at the top there, is a fig. Figs do very well in South Wales, but in the wild like this, they hardly ever get fruit on them because the roots can go so deep. They really need to be in containers to get fruit on them. That's a massive fig. That's looking back up the valley. Lovely valley. Oh, I can smell the ivy. Ivy is one of the fantastic plant for wildlife. It has this great flowers late on in the year. They're wonderful for insects, so the bees, hoverflies, butterflies, they all love ivy. Oh, we can start to see the bay now. I wanted to come here today just to get some photographs of Gower, really. I haven't been down here for photos for a long while, so I've got the camera today. Hopefully there won't be too many people down there and I can have some nice views of an empty beach. Well, that's the plan. There's going to be some people, obviously, but with a bit of luck, there won't be too many. I just love limestone cliffs. They're wonderful. That's what's lovely about dry stone walls in Britain. They just use whatever materials and whatever stone was in the local fields. So they're a wonderful sort of geological map of Britain, really. Very shiny, these rocks. Limestone always shines up a lot when people walk on it, so it loses its roughness. You can see there how many people have put their hands on there. Wow, fantastic. There's the sound of a chuff up on that cliff somewhere. Oh, I can see him. There he goes. Here he comes. There's a pair by the sound of it. And this is rock samphire. That's the one seamen used to go down cliffs and get supplies of that to go on the voyages, because it's very high in vitamin C, so it would stop them getting diseases. Here we are on the beach now. Some beautiful crystals of calcite. It's stunning now. Obviously the tide's not fully out yet, so it's got a while to go. So I've timed it right, really. So got the beach all to myself. Most people would probably come a bit later when the tide's out. That's assuming many people come today. I don't know. It's not really holiday time. There's a couple of rows of surf today. There's black all over the rocks here. The black is lava bread, which is a speciality. Purple lava, which you have with oats and bacon, traditional Welsh breakfast. Very rich in nutrients, lava bread. This is what it looks like close to. Beautiful. I just love the way the sea sculpts these rocks. It's fantastic. Very dramatic. Look at that. Smooth and wonderful shapes. We have some limpets and some barnacles, and a few little mussel spat. We'll see. I think I'll just climb around and start exploring these rocks. So I'll switch the GoPro off because it's going to be hard work. Tide's going out very quickly now. Shortly going to be past these rocks. And as it goes out, there's these beautiful spiky rocks, lovely lead-ins for photography. So I need to use those before people get down here. There's one chap swimming, which is beautiful. You must know the area and know where the rocks are. The other nice thing in this beach is there's lots of these caves at high tide. So I say caves, little tiny slots really, but they're all quite interesting. So if you're waiting for the tide to drop, you can always come and explore these. Look at all the mussels and barnacles. Beautiful. And each one is slightly different. They've all got their own special little characteristics. They always fascinate me, the way the sea works on these little inlets. Oh, this is one I'm bound to get wet. So I'll probably not bother going in this one. Beautiful though. Nice dry one. Obviously when the high tide comes into these, they absolutely pound the sides. Slowly make it bigger and bigger over hundreds of... Oh, it's a bit tight. Hundreds, look at the scalloping on this, it's absolutely beautiful. Such a dramatic place, it's really, really nice. Right, I'm going to have to get another photo. I'll get one afterwards. I think all these features bring out the child in all of us. It's just the wish to see what's in the next bay or in the next headland. Trying to make my way around the beach slowly, around the headland. Stunning beach. Taken quite a few photos of those beautiful cliffs. And here as I'm climbing around the rocks, there's some fantastic dog well, all in these little holes that the sea has carved. And also down here I saw a lovely sea anemone, beadless anemone that's still feeding. You can see the tentacles still out. So I'm going to try and make my way around here. The tide is dropping still, I think, so should be okay. But I may get wet. I normally get wet, so it doesn't matter, does it? I don't know this coast well enough to know exactly where I'm going, but all I want really is a view around the corner. And that's the view. Isn't that beautiful? Fantastic. Lovely sea here today. Just a couple of rows of surf. And lovely limestone cliffs. What could be better? Sunny day, limestone cliffs. Nice sea running. We've made our way around the headland now. What's interesting, I was just looking at the rocks I was climbing around. And there's a green paddleworm, that's called Eulalia viridis. Green paddleworm. Quite nice to see. Very clear water here on Gower. Hasn't got the sediment we get in the Bristol Channel. There's also some immense barnacles. I'm not quite sure what they are. They're very big though. I'll have to look those up. Oh, there's a nice anemone I wasn't expecting to find. That's one we don't really get on our coast in any numbers. This is snakelops anemone. Beautiful. So that was a lovely reflective pool. Now we'll try and see what's around the next, if we can get around the next headland. I don't know if we can yet, but it doesn't really matter. I can always climb up the cliffs there if I need to get away. Tide's still dropping, I'm fairly sure, so. Nice cave in the cliff now. Must be a lot of crabs shedding the shell, because there's an awful lot of bits of crab everywhere. Some lovely seaweeds in this rock pool as well. Got some kelps, some racks, some red seaweeds, some more snake locks, beautiful rock pools. Oh, that's a beautiful one. I'm not quite sure what that is. Certainly not a snake locks anemone. It's some sort of worm, I think. Some pink worm. There's snake locks anemone, but that's different. That's pink. What's unusual about snake locks is it can't retract its tentacles, so when the tide goes out, the tentacles stay out. Unlike the beadlet anemone, which retracts the tentacles. This bit will certainly require some climbing, so it looks easy, but you'd be surprised how often there's an inlet and you can't get past it, but we'll see. Well, it was an exciting clamber over those rocks. As they say, no pain, no gain. I managed to scrape my arm on some barnacles, which are part of the course for me. But I think I've made it round now. I'm not 100% sure. I've decided it's safe to get the GoPro out anyway, so hopefully that's not a stupid omen. I can see sand the other side. It'll be frustrating if I can't get to it. Oh, getting wet. What a fantastic exploration this has been. That's where I've come from. I started in Mewslade Bay. I've just been traversing around the headlands really as the tide goes out. I probably made it much more exciting than I needed to. I could have just waited, but there's nothing nicer than having fun. We made it. Very pleased. Once you get onto that far headland, you get a good view of Worm's Head. So that's the plan for this afternoon after lunch. I don't know if I'll go back via Rhossili or go back along the coast. Perhaps I'll do the coast path. What a stunning walk we've had. Had a perfect day. I'll find a nice spot for lunch there. This looks just about perfect. I'll find somewhere flat to sit on. Oh, I can see a nice rock over there. Just magnificent. I think I might walk on those slabs at the top of the beach rather than the coast path. There's a nice view from here back along the coast. There's another mermaid's purse that washed up. Most of the ones we get are dogfish, but that's the spotted dogfish normally. But sometimes you will get the big, the ones from rays, mainly thornback, small-eyed ray, and occasionally one or two of the bigger ones. Getting to the top of the beach now, so we've got beautiful orange lichens in the splash zone, Xanthoria. Also got thrift and golden samphire. So this is above the high tide line, but in the splash zone. It's really quite warm without any wind. don't know where to go to the top or climb around the corner. I'll have a quick look around the corner before I go upwards. Might be better for photography, we'll see. I don't come here often enough to know exactly the best thing to do. Lovely reef breaking offshore. That's why the boats are there for the bass. Lots of fossils in this rock as well. Lots of crinoids and corals. So this is probably, I would guess, even though I haven't looked it up, it's carboniferous limestone, the same as we get at Ogmore. Oh, this is quite nice actually. I hadn't really planned to come up here, but this strata sort of leads you on. I may regret it, of course. Wow, beautiful. That's Worm's Head. This is at the end of the bay. I've just climbed the cliffs. Beautiful strata on the rocks here. If you look all the way around, that's Worm's Head in the far direction. We'll just take a walk along the cliff towards Worm's Head. Funny enough, I've never been across to it. See some fishermen way out on the ledges. They obviously know this coast well. It's like everywhere else, you have to learn the coast really. And all the ins and outs, the places you can get to, what state of the tide. I don't know this coast anywhere near as well as obviously the one in Southern Down. It's a stunning coast there. This is the beach at Rhossili. It's a massive beach. Goes all the way to Llangennith at the far end. Beyond that, Whitford Burrows. So that's Worm's Head itself. It looks a lot longer from here. When you look at the end on it, it looks quite short, but I should imagine it's a fair walk to get to the very far end. This is the path back to Rhossili now, the car park at Rhossili and the hotel. Very busy this end, but there's a wreck on the beach and the footpaths going across. Very, very long beach. This is Rhossili, the pub, a couple of coffee houses, shops. And lots of beautiful walks from here. There's somewhere down here, there's a track off to the right I'm meant to take. Could be here. Yeah, I think this is it. Well, it's not the one I wanted, but it is a footpath. It goes back to the coast, so I've done a sort of circuit. So it's slightly longer walk than I'd planned, but beautiful day, so there's no point rushing home. Finally, I've escaped from the fields, back on the coast. So I'll just walk for a bit and then have a drink and a piece of fruit before I make my way back across the top of the limestone cliffs. Just looking for somewhere to have a drink, trying to find a nice lofty perch with a lovely view. It's a bit dodgy here because it drops off either side quite quickly, so don't want to go too much further. This looks perfect though. Look at that for a view. Stunning. heading back down to the beach now where I started. It's just beautiful walking in between all these limestone pinnacles. Some beautiful cliffs here, I must admit. And lovely features on the beach as well. This is a nice ledge. I don't know if it's a path or just a sheep track, but it's nice walking anyway. Feels like a sheep track. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What a fantastic end to a walk. Finally, a few photos I took on the walk. I decided to process them in black and white to make the sky stand out a bit more. Hope you enjoyed it.